SNAP benefits will not be issued for the month of November.
How much do you think people are actually getting for food stamps? Seriously, like really just how much do you think people are actually getting? Do you really think it's that much money? We're talking on the average of $159 per person. That's less than $40 a week.
It is the taxpayer's job to pay for my kids to eat and for my kids to be taken care of.
This message is for all the people that are complaining that they're not getting their food stamps for November. What did you do with October's food stamp money? What'd you do? Did you stock up on pantry items and try to shop smartly? Or did you just go buy a bunch of processed garbage?
Trump has cut my food stamps from $2,800 down to $350.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this channel once again. I'm your host Kisaka, and in today's video we'll be looking at the SNAP benefits or the food stamp benefits. It says that from November this year, the people who are receiving, most of them won't be receiving the benefits, and also there are some who used to receive and they're getting messages that the amount that they used to receive in stamp benefits are drastically reduced. So we'll be looking at these videos and also the reactions from Americans, some who are reacting empathically and some who have gone berserk about this whole situation. Also, the reaction from the people who used to receive the benefits, and some are making fun of it. Some have even gone to the extent of saying that if they don't receive the benefits, they are going to start engaging in theft practices, and others are warning them. So these are some of the videos. Before we come back for more commentary, I've specially prepared my notes. And remember, this video is for entertainment and educational purposes only.
If they cut your food stamps off, you go in the store and steal, and then you get arrested, and now your kids ain't got no food or no parent. How does that solve the problem exactly? Not to mention that now it's going to be on your record for shoplifting and stealing. And more than likely, if you were on food stamps, you probably not making a lot of money to begin with if you working at all. And the jobs that you work are entry-level jobs that would be concerned about somebody having stealing and shoplifting on their record. So again, you telling us what you're going to do, why would we care? That's not going to affect us. That's going to affect you. You think these stores really care that you're stealing the stuff? Not really. They got insurance for that. But you will be the one to deal with the consequences that come with stealing the stuff. Y'all wanting us to feel bad for a lot of y'all. We don't, because we out here having to buy food every day with our own money that we work for. So why are you any different than us? Why is it that we have to buy food, but you don't? You want us to feel bad for something that we have to do too. A lot of the main ones who doing all this complaining, you be selling them food stamps. You probably don't even be using most of them. And when you do, you go to the store and buy a bunch of junk food and stuff that your kids probably shouldn't be eating in the first place. Having seafood boils every other day, eating real good off the government. That same government that y'all hate so much, all right? That same one that y'all hate so much until it come down to you getting free benefits from them. I ain't never seen people who hate a system so much that they benefiting from. All right, you hate it so much, yet you benefit off of it. And when they cut you off said benefits from the government that you hate, you upset about that. There are some people that I feel bad about losing their benefits. And those are the people who haven't abused the system. But some of y'all who've been abusing the system, you won't work, you won't do nothing, all for the sake of being able to live off of the system. No, I don't feel bad for you. All right, you can join the rest of us in the real world of having to work so that we can provide. And if you don't have the means to do it, then you probably shouldn't have had all of them kids that you had if you was counting on somebody else to be able to help you with being able to afford them.
Baby, when y'all go grocery shopping next month, y'all need to be very careful, because apparently they done got started. Y'all know next month, a lot of people not going to get their food stamps and their SNAP benefits, and a lot of people going to be desperate and hungry. A Walmart employee came on here last night talking about how they had emergency evacuate the Walmart because people done stormed up in there trying to put stuff in their bags and be stealing. Baby, when y'all go to the grocery store next month, y'all better get in and get out. Don't be standing around trying to have no conversation with somebody from church. Don't stuff your buggy too full either. Get a few items and then leave. If you got to go 50 miles per hour out that doggone parking lot, go 50 miles per hour out that doggone parking lot. Or if you want to be that person, baby, buy somebody's groceries for them. Help them where you can help, period.
I've been on food stamps since I was 18. I don't give a how it makes me look on TikTok. I don't care. Groceries are expensive. I don't care that I can't afford groceries. I want to use my food stamp card. I have not looked at the price of groceries since I was 18. Why is everything so expensive?
You don't want them to have access to food? Do you not want them to have... You know what they're going to do? They're going to end up stealing. And there's going to be more prisoners. Oh, that's so smart. That's so smart. Yeah, you're stunting American growth. You're stunting American growth, and my generation's getting fucked because of you. And I'm sick and tired of it. People have like this, oh, but, you know, there's so many people who, you know, for their SNAP benefits, they use it, but they don't actually need it. And this, I don't give a shit. I don't care. I don't care if a few of them use the system. How can you not care about other people? Do something about it. I'm ready to fight. I'm ready. Like, if I need to, I'll defend what I believe is morally right.
SNAP benefits will not be issued for the month of November. If you're new here, my name is Crystal. I am a social worker and a caseworker. I have been working in the social service field for over 10 years. I also worked at the SNAP Welfare Food Stamp Office for over 6 years. I have processed hundreds of SNAP cases, and in this video, I will explain to you what's happening with November SNAP benefits. Due to the government shutdown, many states are now sending out notifications stating that they do not have the funds to issue SNAP benefits for the month of November. The federal government has already informed all states that it will not fund November's benefits. And since the funding for SNAP comes from the federal government, the states literally have no money to pay out. Some states are outright saying that they will not issue November's benefits, and some states have not confirmed it yet. I'll just tell you, if you receive SNAP benefits, please be careful on how you spend October's benefits because there will be no more SNAP issued until this shutdown ends. I have some resources to help you find food pantries if you need it, linked in my bio. All you have to do is click the link, put in your zip code, and it will show you a list of food pantries near you. If you have any questions about this, feel free to let me know, and I hope this helped.
I just got that text that the link is definitely cut off for November. Y'all better stay out of my way in these stores. I'm walking out with carts and I'm not paying for shit. Trump, if you won't start looting, it's gonna happen. Before my kids go broke in this bitch like Jock, I'm gonna be stealing like it ain't no tomorrow. I am going to go in that store, get everything I get regularly. I'm going to bag my shit up, swipe my link card. As soon as that bitch say, ain't no pending balance on there, I'm going to walk out. And I'm going to have one of my cousins with me that'll punch your ass so hard, you going to think a Jet 2 holiday hit your bitch ass.
Well, let me say something, hun. You're going to jail. Not only are you going to jail now for stealing something most likely is going to be over $500. So now you have a felony. But also, now you're threatening to put your hands on someone who is just doing their job. Right? So you'll be going to jail. Your children will probably be given to the state so they won't have to worry about eating. If you want to play silly games, silly things happen. Stealing is okay as long as you're getting food for your children, right? Anybody who has this mindset is what's wrong with our community. It is not okay to steal. It is not okay to put your hands on someone who is doing their job. So you're going to jail, and anyone else who thinks like this and does this is going to jail. There are people who are out here who are worse than you or in a worse predicament, and they're choosing to handle it a different way, going to food banks, using whatever resources that they can. Just $75 can get you along as long as you're not buying the snacks. You're not buying the extra drinks. You're not buying this and that and that. If everything was to be cut off as of today, right? Let's just say they say, hey, look, we're never bringing back food stamps. What are you going to do? Are you just going to steal and go to jail, get your children taken away from you, put your children in the system? What would you do? If this was a third world country, what would you do? The mentality of I'm going to steal, rob, and beat up anybody who gets in my way is ridiculous. It should be simple as, okay, well, hey, look, there's a down moment. We're going to have to sacrifice the chips and the drinks and the eyelashes, the nails. We're going to have to sacrifice some things because it's a hard moment, right? We're not going to be able to do what we want and everything like that so that we can have food, so that my kids can have food. Peanut butter and jellies.
noodles, whatever the case may be, to get us by this moment. Because the government will open back up. But you think that a temporary moment means you need to do the drastics. You're willing to loot, steal, and beat up anybody who gets in your way. That is not okay. And that's not something you should stand for. At the end of the day, government assistance, not government entitlement. You are not entitled to what you were given. For you to even say you would put your children in a worse predicament by you going to jail for something that's temporary? Go to a food bank. Go get the resources that you can. But stealing and hurting someone else's child is not going to put you in a better predicament. If you don't have the money now to take care of your children and to feed your family, you won't have the money for the bills to pay for your lawyers that you're going to need if you put your hands or steal from a company, especially Walmart. Let's be real. So anything over $500, and I'm assuming you're in Illinois, right? Because you said link card, right? So anything over $500 is a felony. So not only will you get a felony, but if you put your hands on someone's child, you will get battery, most likely, aggravated assault, whatever the case may be. But that's not putting you and your children in a better predicament. And everybody who's in her comments saying, yeah, I'm going to do that too. Yeah, we looting, we stealing. We need to do this. Everybody on this app saying, yeah, they want us to loot. Trump wants this. No.
I'm going to tell you like this right here. If you done got your stamps for this month, or you haven't got them yet, if you done got your stamps, or when you get your stamps for this month, don't go running trying to sell your damn stamps. Don't go running buying all that goddamn junk food, them knickknacks and all that bullshit. Don't be trying to do nothing else other than put some grocery in that refrigerator and some grocery in that deep freezer, because I'm going to tell y'all what's happening. So that whole rumor talk about no stamps being issued in November is a fact. Nobody in America that's in the EBT or part of the EBT program will receive food stamps in the month of November. Nowhere in the United States, if they have a government SNAP EBT program, wherever you are, they will not be issuing no benefits. Now, this is the crazy thing. I don't know if y'all really believe a lot of the stuff or if y'all reading up on it, but bro, brace yourself, because it's not just November. Listen to me, it's not just November. It's not just November. They trying to phase out and get rid of food stamps, just like they trying to do the Section 8, the government assistant, anything that's government assisted, any programs, they trying to get rid of all of that. You see what I mean? And they telling everybody it's to save money and it's to this and it's that. That's not what it's for. That's not what it's for. Don't be no fool. A lot of y'all, like I said, a lot of y'all wake up and run the social media and bullshit. Y'all receive food stamps. Y'all get some type of government assistance. Y'all better start waking up and looking what's going on around y'all. Because like I said, you gonna wake up one day in the world, in the life that you know and used to and feel like you entitled to, that shit gonna change. And they doing it right in front of your eyes. Like I said, you gonna wake up one morning and you're not gonna be able to walk in your grocery store and swipe that damn EBT card and fill up your pantry. You see what I mean? So for y'all, for the ones who don't know what's going on, for the ones that's not resourceful, for the ones that's not self-efficient, y'all better get on y'all shit. You would not get food stamps come November. And if y'all haven't been paying attention, don't sit here and just think, oh, come December, they're going to give me my November stamps and my December. No, they are not, because the way they talking, the way this Trump administration talking, you might not get them come December. And I'm being honest.
It's been day 5 and I have not received no food stamps. My disability checks is on hold. My cash benefits is not coming no more. They're still pending. It is the taxpayer's job to pay for my kids to eat and for my kids to be taken care of.
Trump has cut my food stamps from $2,800 down to $350. Now, what am I supposed to do? Huh? So I literally just got this piece of mail today saying that due to new policy changes from the Trump administration, all this shit, whatever, that all these cuts and whatever he's doing over there, now they're telling me I have to go work. Now I have to go do all this. Well, I literally got 5 kids. Okay. I'm trying to sit here and spend time with them. I'm not trying to go work, 50, 60 hours a week so I can pay bills. Well,
it just keeps getting better and better. Not only did they increase my rent because I started working, they increased my rent. They have now deducted my food stamps. So they increased my rent. They tell me I can't qualify for benefits and I can't get child support or anything because my husband's in prison. So I'm a single mom with no help, no family, no nobody, no nothing. And now I just got a letter. I'm just quite pleased with it, honey. It says now they have reduced my food stamps from $523 a month for 2 people to now $320 a month for 2 people. So that's great. Because, of course, the reason is because I make too much money. But I guess I shouldn't complain because at least I get them. Because a lot of people, I've been ranting about this stuff for a couple days now, and a lot of people are telling me how they're not even getting them, and I don't know how people are surviving out here. And then everyone wants to comment, well, your hair and nails are done. First of all, my hair has not been done in a long time, and when it did get done, honey, that was my sponsor who did it, because, I'm a recovering addict, and honey, she's relapsed now, obviously. And the hair clip, this is a clip that I paid $6 for at Shein. The eyelashes and stuff, they come from the Dollar Tree or in bulk from Shein for $3. My nails are not done professionally, honey. I do them myself. I pay a big $1 for them off of Shein. Just so everyone knows. And also, when you work hard, don't you all like to buy yourself something too? So when everyone says that because I work and have a kid and I'm poor, I don't deserve anything nice ever. I just deserve shit. That's your all's mentality whenever you all come at me with that right there about the shit I do have.
Hey guys.
What's up, y'all? How y'all doing?
Hey. Grocery day.
You already know what's going on.
EBT.
It don't matter. And
Right.
who all got anything negative to say, you will be blocked and your ass will not be on our page because we're not with all that. We here to support what we do to feed our 6 kids that we have at home. We also do have everything
Is legit
documented at the food stamp office, so we don't need people to just say what they don't know nothing about us. You know what I'm saying? So let's keep it cordial.
Come with us on our shopping trip.
Let's go to Kroger's first.
Yep. We don't know what our budget is. We're just here to shop.
Access your account at connectebt.com. Enter the last 4 digits of your card number. Enter your PIN. Your SNAP balance is $2. Benefits are deposited once a day before 9 a.m. No deposits will be made after this time. Please be aware that card program
Like, I renewed my food stamps on time, and I got in contact with my homegirl caseworker, and they said, I got approved. It just hasn't been reinstated. Like, my case hasn't been reinstated. I don't fucking get it. What do you mean? I've been on food stamps since I was 18. I don't give a how it makes me look on TikTok. I don't care. Groceries are expensive. I don't care that I can't afford groceries. I want to use my food stamp card so I can put the grocery money towards another bill. Like, what are we talking about? Like, I have not looked at the price of groceries since I was 18. Why is everything so expensive? Mayo is like $5. I'm genuinely about to tweak in this bitch. I'm genuinely about to tweak. Like, now I have to go spend cash on groceries.
EBT food stamps, how much y'all got? How much y'all got? Every month, $3,500 in food stamps. How much y'all got? Yeah, that's what I thought. Like, y'all need to chill. And I got 7 baby daddies. Yes, I'm not ashamed. I don't regret nothing. I don't regret my first child. I don't regret my second child, third, fourth, fifth, sixth. All of them are a blessing to me. And if you don't feel that way, that's not your problem. That's not your problem because they're not your kids anyway. They're mine, not yours. Like, I don't get it. Like, what is wrong with people? Like, people just think that you can just talk on people and just discuss people's life. Like, who are you? What have you achieved with your life? My 7 kids, they're good. They're great. They're healthy. They're blessed. I'm able to pay for everything they need. If my baby daddies are not acting right, like what? If a few of them are not acting right, the rest of them will. If 1 or 2 baby daddies not acting right, guess what? 3, 4, 5 of them will. And they'll come to my rescue and make sure, because they got these kids with me. And I make sure of that. So don't worry about me.
The administration will be taking away EBT next month. Yes, that's right. No food stamps next month. How do I feel about it? I don't care. But let me tell you why. Before you get your panties in a bunch, let me explain myself. Number one, this is coming from a woman who was pretty much homeless and disabled, and my state still wouldn't give me food stamps. So I didn't get rich until this year. Secondly, y'all need to start thinking about it. They finna shut off food stamps the month of Thanksgiving. Let me tell you something. I don't need to depend on y'all for me to eat. And I don't think nobody else should either. Because look at the effects. They're just talking about taking food stamps away, and y'all are willing to act crazy. That quick. That quick. They got you that quick. I had seen one video. This lady was like, it's the taxpayer's job to take care of my kids. I thought if you pop them out, it's your job. Nobody told you to have all them kids. And if you can't afford a kid, you don't need to be having them. The government will literally give you free contraceptives. Free contraceptives. But then you want to take it upon yourself to go pop out 6 kids with 6 different niggas that don't want to take care of their kid with you, and then complain that all of us don't want to fucking pay for your food. That's who we're talking about. We're not talking about y'all who work hard and this and that and all that. I don't even know why y'all get offended when we say we don't care. This is not about y'all. It's about the ones who sit up and do all this stuff and then act like it's just our responsibility. Why is it my responsibility to pay my taxes so you can feed your 8 kids? Meanwhile, I gotta go work hard so I can feed my 1? Nah, man. You got the super studious type people who are looking at it like, oh no, well, you know, the economy is gonna crash and now the groceries are gonna be even more high priced. Hey, well, we gotta do something. We gotta figure something out. Do y'all wanna have a meeting? What's the solution? Cause let me ask y'all this, and I want an honest answer. What was y'all gonna do if food stamps was never invented? Y'all just wasn't gonna eat? Y'all just wasn't gonna make way?
This message is for all the people that are complaining that they're not getting their food stamps for November. What did you do with October's food stamp money? What'd you do? Did you stock up on pantry items and try to shop smartly? Or did you just go buy a bunch of processed garbage? By the way, you can thank the Democrats for the government being shut down and your benefits not coming through for November. Looks like you're going to be going to the food pantry for your Thanksgiving meal. I know a lot of food pantries hand out turkeys for Thanksgiving. All the sides and trimmings too. Lots of food pantries. You better figure it out. I'm sick of hearing you complain, honestly. You ever have this as a meal? I'm eating peanut butter and butter on toast. It's absolutely delicious. You should try it. And not for nothing, I saw this woman that said she was getting $1,100 a month in food stamps. Do you know how long I could make $1,100 in food stamps last in this house? There's 2 of us, but I do have my son over every once in a while, or my daughters over once in a while to eat. I feed them too, and we always got food in our house, no matter what. I would take a 3rd job. I have 2 jobs. I would take a 3rd job if I had to, just to make sure my kids ate. What are you doing for your kids besides coming on the internet and bitching that you don't have any money in your food stamps account? What did you do with October's food?
somewhere around 35 to 40% of SNAP recipients are children. More than 10% are under the age of 5. More than 20% are seniors. So you are looking at SNAP providing nutrition. And I say nutrition because they're not fully fed. Like, if you've ever tried to shop with SNAP benefits like you're describing, yeah, you can live off of fucking peanut butter and butter on a piece of bread, but it fucking sucks, right? It sucks. So somewhere between 50 and 60% of SNAP recipients are children and the elderly, and you're like, fuck you. It's your fault. Democrats, blah, blah, blah. I don't give a fuck who's shutting down the government. Feed the fucking children and the elderly. What is wrong with you?
You clearly understand the concept of what food is and what it's meant for. People bought food with it. And they ate that food like you're doing that toast. Didn't realize it was a hard concept to understand what food money is spent on and used for. And have you been to the grocery store lately? I'm sure you have with the toast you're eating. Have you seen the prices of food? Yeah. $185 for a single person ain't gonna do shit for a month. You and I both know that. So, open your mind before your mouth. For the love of God, please.
How much do you think people are actually getting for food stamps? Seriously, like, really, just how much do you think people are actually getting? Do you really think it's that much money? We're talking on the average of $159 per person. That's less than $40 a week for one person to eat on. How much do you spend a week on food? And how much good food can someone really buy for $40 a week? Again, it's less than $40. It's actually $39.75. But yet, Trump can get $230 million for a ballroom. Kristi Noem can get $179 for our $1 million for jets. We can send money to other countries, and farmers are losing out every fucking day because, well, they're not selling food because of Trump's tariffs. But yet, you're going to complain about $159 that people are receiving. Now, you can say they can go to work, but the problem with that is the reason why they're collecting that money is because they can't find enough work, because jobs are washing the fuck up right now as well. It's so sad to see the party that's supposed to be all about Christian and values and godliness and everything talk so much shit like this that actually wants to see people hurt and homeless and destroyed. And then you make videos like this. What did you do with that money? It's $159 fucking dollars. How much did you spend on food alone?
You're sick of hearing people complain that they can't afford groceries? Yeah. Well, I think we're all sick of it. We're all sick of hearing that. Because we live in a country where that shouldn't be happening. No one should be worried about how to feed their family. You know what else we're sick of? We're sick of having to coexist with so many people that completely lack any ounce of empathy. You just don't have the capability in you. It's not there. If you were really sick of it, you would see how you can help. That's what we should be doing, is helping each other. Not sitting there in your comfortable home with your horrible fucking attitude, shoving food in your face, telling people you better figure it out. The arrogance of assuming that you understand every situation that every person in this country is in is astounding. I beg of you to just try to put yourself in the shoes of someone, somewhere that you've never been. And try to imagine how you would hope other people would help. Just try. And if you can't do that, if you can't be helpful, then be quiet.
People across America are now threatening to go steal from grocery stores if they do not get their EBT starting in November. People like this gentleman here said, I refuse to work for anybody. The U.S. taxpayers work for me. They need to help me feed my kids, and he needs his EBT. This man also said to watch out if you go to any of the Walmarts near him because he will be going into there very mad and taking everything he can. And this woman here even warns everybody to start locking your car doors. If you end up leaving your house unlocked at night or your car's unlocked at night, she said people that do not get EBT will be stealing cars. People like this gentleman here said, I refuse to work for anybody. The U.S. taxpayers work for me. They need to help me feed my kids, and he needs his EBT. This man also said to watch out if you go to any of the Walmarts near him because he will be going into there very mad and taking everything he can. And this woman here even warns everybody to start locking your car doors. If you end up leaving your house unlocked at night or your car's unlocked at night, she said people that do not get EBT will be stealing cars.
So because food stamps might get cut off, you've got people on this app getting hundreds of thousands of likes saying that they're just going to steal the food instead. Imagine being so entitled that you think that just because the government stops giving you free stuff, you're now entitled to steal it. A lot of y'all should have been cut off a long time ago without a government shutdown because a lot of y'all have no business being on food stamps. You cannot work at all and simply have kids and exist and get up to almost $1,000 a month in a household of 4 on food stamps. Just sitting back, existing, no work requirement whatsoever. That should never have been allowed. Food stamps should be a temporary holdover while you look to get back on your feet so you can support yourself. Food stamps should not be this thing where people like me permanently pay for your groceries so that you can use the money you save to instead spend that on alcohol and vacations. That should never have been allowed. So I am happy to see you get cut off, and I will be even happier to see you get arrested when you think that you're entitled to steal food instead.
Did y'all see that video where everybody bum rushed into Walmart and was filling up their carts with food, crock pots, TV, all types of shit, and walking out and running out of Walmart and throwing shit in their car and taking off, and there was police everywhere, and one of the Walmart employees was recording everything? It was just so chaotic. Like, somebody ran outside. It was a truck outside, and they was throwing all the food and everything they can in the back of that truck. And I think the police had chased the car, and the truck crashed into a tree. Like, this is just crazy. And it's not even November yet. And this is the president that you guys voted for. He's starving us out. They cut my food stamps off last month. I'm a single mom. I work every day, but it's still not enough to make ends meet. And they cut my shit off last month. And I'm struggling to keep food in the refrigerator. I'm not really too much worried about Thanksgiving. I could care less about that. I'm just worried about keeping food in my refrigerator. And I'm working as hard as I can, but I just feel bad for, like, everybody else. Like, this is only the beginning. If they're bum rushing Walmart, they're going to be bum rushing Stop and Shop, right? Next thing you know, we ain't going to be able to go into the stores. It's just crazy out here, man. Be careful. Don't go out there stealing. God is going to make sure we're okay.
So now y'all talking about y'all about to go through self-checkout and steal all your food. Well, let me tell you how Walmart and all other grocery stores been prepared for this. They started that star program or whatever it's supposed to be where you got to pay for a subscription, and that's the only way you could get a cashier. I know y'all probably ain't noticed that, but that's the way it been going. 2, they got police departments stationed in Walmart. Yeah, so real officers are sitting in them control and surveillance rooms, watching everything y'all do, watching the car you pull up in, running your license plate number. They doing all this before they confront you for stealing. Please keep in mind, this is 2025. You will not be able to get away with crime so easily or at all. Really, crime is becoming extinct. There's no way for you to do anything without really getting caught these days. For all the people that plan on, let's unite together and we all gonna walk in Walmart, Kroger's, Target. We're gonna walk in all these grocery stores on one day and we're just gonna steal everything. What? Y'all ain't been seeing the way they've been expanding these prisons? They've been making room. Y'all talking about having a national theft day. Y'all gonna leave them babies out here parentless, and they gonna be wards of the state who end up convicted criminals just like their parents. So come on, man. Let's not turn into hardened criminals overnight behind inflation and food costs.
So thank you guys for looking at this video. SNAP is run by the United States Department of Agriculture, that is USDA, but states carry out the program day to day. The federal government pays most of the cost, and that is how the program reaches so many people across the United States. In 2025, several major events and policy choices combined to put SNAP under heavy pressure. First, Congress and the White House pushed budgets and plans that aim to cut federal spending on safety net programs. Some proposals, like large reconciliation packages and policy blueprints, included deep cuts to nutrition programs and related services. Second, a government funding lapse and shutdown in the autumn of 2025 created a short-term crisis. The USDA, or the United States Department of Agriculture, warned states that if the shutdown continued, they could run out of money to pay November benefits, and many states began sending out notices that benefits could stop if funding did not return. By late October, dozens of states had warned residents that SNAP payment might be delayed or paused in November because federal funds were not flowing. These two pressures, long-term policy changes and an immediate funding gap, left millions of households with real uncertainty about their next grocery bill and their family meals. Some lawmakers and conservative policy groups proposed making states take on more costs or restructuring the way federal aid is delivered. Project 2025 and similar plans pushed for big changes at the U.S. Department of Agriculture and to federal nutrition programs, recommending cuts and tighter rules that advocates say would reduce access for many families. There were also congressional proposals in 2025 that aimed to cut hundreds of billions from welfare and nutrition programs as part of broader deficit and tax plans. Critics say those cuts would take away help from people who need it the most, while supporters argue that changes would reduce waste and change incentives around work and benefits. After early backlash, some Senate Republicans moved to scale down the most extreme proposals, offering narrower approaches that would shift some costs to state but leave basic benefits mostly intact for the moment. The plans changed over time, but the threat of reduced benefits stayed central. Looking at some of the political reactions across the spectrum, the cuts and the threatened payment pause sparked sharp political arguments. Democrats framed the issue as a moral crisis. Ending or shrinking SNAP would cause hunger for children, seniors, and working families. Many Democratic leaders publicly demanded protections for SNAP and pushed for emergency funding when the shutdown threatened payments. Some Republicans argued the federal budget needed reform and that programs should be restructured to prevent fraud and lower long-term costs. They said changes could make the system more sustainable and better target help. Other Republicans, especially those from states with many SNAP recipients, worried about the short-term effects of forcing states to take on more costs and push back on most severe cuts. A notable political twist was the anger coming from some voters who had supported conservative leaders. Many of these voters live in rural or working class areas and rely on SNAP for daily food. When cuts or delays threatened their benefits, they expressed real frustration and outrage with the political leaders who backed the changes. That backlash complicated the political picture for lawmakers who had expected broad support for tighter budgets. The reaction among voters who identify with the MAGA movement are mixed, but often surprising to national commentators. Some MAGA voters strongly backed fiscal restraint and smaller government, But when the policy changes began to hit their households, a clear and vocal group reacted with anger. They say they feel betrayed when leaders cut programs their families use to survive. This outrage was visible in town halls, local news interviews, and social media. In some places, conservative voters who had once cheered budget cuts demanded immediate help for food and basic needs. That reaction created political pressure on some Republican lawmakers to reconsider or soften proposed cuts and to seek short-term fixes that would prevent sudden benefit interruptions. Across many cities and towns, protests and public demonstrations form around food aid cuts. Activists, community groups, church organizations, and family came together to demand that Congress stop the cuts and restore full funding. Food banks and nonprofits also organized public actions to draw attention to the growing lines and the rising need for emergency food. These events were not only in big cities. In rural counties and small towns, community centers and local advocates hosted vigils, rallies, and visits to lawmakers' offices to show how real families would be affected. The protests mixed urgent human stories with clear policy demands that they should stop cuts, they should fund the SNAP, and protect the social safety net that keeps people from falling into hunger and homelessness. Food banks and emergency meal program have seen a jump in demand when benefit payments were delayed or threatened. Many food banks report long queues and rapidly dwindling supplies. They warn that if delays do continue, they would not be able to keep up without extra donations and volunteers. Local churches, mutual aid groups, and community kitchens are stepping up to help, but their resources are limited. These organizations often operate on thin budgets and volunteer labor, and they cannot replace regular, predictable federal benefits. The sudden surge in need strains their capacity and highlights how much the nation depends on SNAP as a stable source of support for millions of households. For millions, SNAP is the difference between a balanced meal and going hungry. Parents told reporters they would have to skip meals so that their children could eat, or choose between rent and groceries. Seniors on fixed incomes said they feared empty shelves in their kitchen cabinets. Working people who faced unpredictable hours or low wages said SNAP bridges the gap when paychecks did not cover food costs. Let's look at the role of media and how important facts are. As the fight unfolds, news outlets and fact-checking groups are working to explain the difference between policy proposals and immediate effects. Fact-checkers clarify that while long-term legislation could reshape SNAP over years, the immediate crisis for November benefits was driven by the funding lapse and shutdown, which risks stopping payments unless Congress focuses on to reopen or fund the program. Clear reporting helps many people understand why payments might stop even though the program itself still exists. It also shows how temporary funding lapses and long-term policy choices can combine to create urgent, real-world harm for families. States and the USDA followed rules about how to handle payments and notices. When USDA warned about insufficient funds, many state agencies began informing benefit recipients about possible delays. Some states explored short-term measures or reserve funds, while others prepared to pause payments if federal funds did not arrive. At the federal level, some lawmakers worked on stopgap measures to restore funding quickly. Others used the crisis to press for broader budget changes. The administrative mechanics made clear how fragile the system can be when federal funding is interrupted, even briefly. If SNAP funding is reduced or access tightened, research shows serious long-term harms. Food insecurity harms children's growth and learning. increases health problems and raises costs to healthcare system over time. Cutting nutrition support can therefore create a larger economic and social costs that appear later, even if the budget savings seem real in the short term. Experts and social service groups warned that deep cuts would worsen poverty and health disparities, especially in regions that already face high rates of need. This argument became a key point to proponents who wanted to protect SNAP from major reductions. By mid to late 2025, the political fight was dynamic. Some congressional plans for large cuts had been softened or stalled after public backlash and internal disagreements among Republicans. Senators and local leaders from states with high SNAP use pushed back on proposals that would shift big costs to state budgets. That pushback led to revised plans that tried to reduce the immediate pain but still aimed to shrink some federal obligations over time. At the same time, conservative transition documents and policy proposals continued to push for reshaping the safety net on ideological grounds. Advocates warned that the long-term plan, if enacted fully, could deeply shrink help for the poorest Americans across many programs, not only SNAP. Let's look at some of the practical steps that communities are taking. Across the country, communities mobilized to fill the gaps. Food drives, pop-up pantries, emergency grocery vouchers, and volunteer-run meal programs it has actually multiplied. Some local governments temporarily increased aid or redirected funds to help residents through the immediate crisis. These efforts showed strong local solidarity but also underscored that community efforts cannot replace a national program like SNAP in scale or reliability. Local leaders are also forming or are formed coalitions to press state and federal lawmakers to act quickly to avoid benefit interruptions that will cause immediate harm to millions. What can families and individuals do now? Most of the families are worried about SNAP or benefits. They need to stay alert to official notices from their state agencies and to reach out to local food banks and community groups if they face an immediate gap. Community members who are not directly affected can donate food, volunteer, or catch their representatives to ask for stable funding or nutrition programs. Civic engagement helps in creating political pressure that leads to softened proposal in some cases, showing the power of public voices in crisis. There are few likely scenarios moving forward. One path is that Congress or the White House will secure emergency funding to prevent missed payments while policy debates continue. This will solve the immediate pain but leave the larger policy fight active for months or years. Another path is that lawmakers will push through longer-term changes that shift costs to states or tighten eligibility. Those changes will produce savings for the federal budget but risk raising hunger and hardship in many communities over time. A third less likely path is bipartisan compromise that stabilizes funding and pairs targeted reforms with new supports to protect the most vulnerable. Advocates say that careful evidence-based changes could preserve the program core while improving efficiency, but political divisions make this outcome difficult. The SNAP fight in 2025 is part of a larger debate about the social safety net. The same arguments about Medicaid, housing assistance, and preschool programs follow similar lines. Some leaders push to reduce federal spending and change program design, while others warn that cuts will raise long-term social and economic costs and harm people now. The SNAP debate becomes a clear example of how short-term fiscal choices and long-term policy shifts can combine to affect daily lives for millions. This is a human issue more than a political puzzle. When benefits stop, people go hungry. When hunger rises, the costs spread across healthcare, education, and community stability. The 2025 fights over SNAP and other safety net programs shows, and it showed how quickly policy choices turn into people's real life struggles. They also show how communities, advocates, and even surprise voters can push back when they see the safety net unraveling. Thank you guys for staying tuned to this channel. If you have not subscribed, can you do me the favor of subscribing, liking, and remember to leave your sweet comment. Until next time, God bless.